their WordPress site, they did have an option to discourage search engines from indexing the site, and I unchecked that box. Wow, that is, you just made them millions of dollars. But I wonder if I should have waited. The majority of the blog posts are not in forms of a question. I was wondering if we changed into the question. Okay, so 2 questions. Number 1, that's the first thing I check every time I get a new client. Yes, I'm glad you checked it. Uncheck it immediately, and immediately they will start getting, well, not immediately, really quickly, they're going to start getting visits from Google.
Is that what you're talking about, indexing? I missed that one. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the checkbox discourage engines.
Yes.
From search engines. So I don't know how many websites I've gotten where developers forgot to uncheck that.
Yeah.
I think I even, like my church did it.
Yeah.
They think I'm an amazing SEO because I clicked the checkbox.
Because you checked the
Right.
box.
Oh my gosh, everybody finds us on Google now, David. You're amazing. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
So, and then you said, a sub question of this is the majority of their blog posts are not in the forms of questions. Should you have waited to uncheck until you can update those blog posts and change them into questions?
Yeah.
So, okay, that's a really interesting question. So as a best practice, I really like blog posts that are questions, but not always possible.
Okay.
So, it might be worthwhile to go back into old blog posts and update them into questions if it makes sense. If I were to do that, I would make sure not change the URLs, because then you would have to add redirects for every one of those.
Got you. Okay.
Right. And WordPress makes that real easy. All you do is change the title of the post, and it doesn't change the URL by default unless you tell it to. So what you could do is almost do a little keyword research to see which of these former blog posts could be phrased as a question that people are looking for the answer for.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, because she has a lot of blog posts, and I was going to tell, like, choose 5 that she think is like very important for people to know, and see if we can change those into questions.
Well, I wouldn't leave it to the client, and forgive me if I misunderstood. I would go to the data and let the data tell you, do people ask this as a question?
Oh, okay. So I do it first. Okay.
Yeah, go and find out, and then if they are, then you can go to them and say, you know, you have this blog post. It might do even better as a question.
Okay.
And it makes sure they're okay with that. That's kind of how I would approach it, because I usually get permission before I change client sites. Sometimes clients don't care. Most of my clients care a lot, maybe too much about things, but that's how I would do it. So I would go, and then you know, the ones that are worth making them into a question are worth the time to do it. Otherwise, you could, if, for instance, so I think you did the right thing. I think you uncheck the box first, and then you can later go and update the posts. That's okay.
Okay.
The key is not changing the URLs. So then, because if you change the URLs, then Google will re-index them. You'll have to have redirects. You'll lose a little bit through the redirect. And this way, you're just kind of updating the posts to be a little more search friendly for what people, your potential customers, are looking for. So that's a really interesting question. I'm glad you asked that. That's really cool thinking.